Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. We do this every single Friday where we ask juicy questions, we mix our energies, and we just see about life and spirituality. And in this case, we're seeing what's coming down the pipeline in the form of incoming blessings. I feel like life's been kind of hard for a lot of people, and I feel like we need that bright spark or a reminder of like what we're moving towards and how spirit is helping us and putting the wind in our sails and what blessings that we have incoming. So let us take a look at that. Nikki, thank you so much for starting us off with a super chat. Morning witches. Big love. So we have 3 piles as per usual. Oh wait, look at this. Look at that. Look, I got this. It's a bunny butt. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that. Maybe your blessing has to do with your butt. Maybe it's gonna look really good. Or somebody has a good butt. I don't know. Anyways, we've got 3 piles and we also have an anchor card. So I'll show you that first. The anchor card is not a choice. And I'm actually going to move this bunny butt so that you guys can see this. You're welcome in advance. Bunny. So this is the anchor card. It is the flame. The anchor card is not a choice. It is the anchor energy that goes into all the piles, and I do feel like all of us are intuitive in some way, shape, or form. And I do feel like if you're involved in tarot in any way, if you don't know yourself to be intuitive, this is kind of like just an introduction to this, like maybe a calling, if you will. So I feel like we read the cards together. The anchor card is the bottom energy, and that is the flame. So I just wanted you to be able to get a good look at it. And then we'll move into all 3 of the piles here. Pile number 1 is the creator. Pile number 2 is the nectar, and pile number 3 is the orphan. So I'll put all of those up, and if you haven't already chosen your pile, now is a good time to do that. And even if you have, this is the time where we just all kind of meditate together and we have a moment of silence and we take at least 1 full breath, because as they say, 1 full breath is a meditation. So get comfortable, do whatever it is that you like to do, turn the gaze inwards, and just let all of the static and the noise of the world around you, including my obnoxious voice, just fall by the wayside and connect with the part of you that is the observer of it all, that doesn't know itself to have a name, an identity, preferences, an address, a social security number, problems, or blessings even of any kind, but just knows itself to be one with the source of all things. Beautiful. You know, that part of this always makes me feel like a rebel with a cause, and a rebel that's the best kind too, because it feels like we're breaking an unspoken rule on the internet, which is that like you can never have just like dead ass silence. And I feel like at the core of us, that's who we are as a people. That's who we are as a community, is rebels, but we're good rebels and we break good rules in good ways. And I want to commend you for that. Good job. Okay, that was your first blessing. You. Okay, so moving on here, if you've already chosen your pile, we're going to move into pile number 1, which is the creator. Oh. All right, we're going to move into pile number 1. What are the incoming blessings for pile number 1? Compassion. Oh my gosh, literally I just picked up my compassion wand, and I feel like compassion is actually some kind of incoming blessing. Oh, actually, this is just like stream of consciousness. I feel like I just immediately entered flow state. So I think for some of you, there could be something that you're working on or some kind of creative project, and it's just entering flow state. It's just, you're going to seamlessly be one with it at whatever stage that you are in. It could be that you are inspired by something or to do something. You've got some kind of creative work or creative activity, or even just a skill that you're interested in, because I feel like maybe you're just starting to learn something. If that's the case and you have this like hobby or something that you're interested in, I feel like part of your incoming blessing is I think you might have a teacher, because I'm just noticing all of like the beautiful colors and stuff behind this. So you could be drawn into some kind of space where you're really, really inspired and you're surrounded by people who are actually really good at what it is that you're doing. And these are people that are very compassionate and they're very helpful with whatever it is that you're doing. And I don't know, maybe compassionate isn't even the right word. It's just like vivacious and colorful. The energy is like very positive around that. And yeah. And the other thing is, if there's been somebody trying to like copy your work or take something from you or like replicate what it is that you're doing, I feel like that person is like having to spend time alone. And I'm just going to say that in case the energies are flipped here. If you are this person, this spending time alone as the flame, that is the blessing that's coming in for you so that you can be in hermit mode, find your own truth, be your own person, reflect a little bit on why you feel the need to copy this other person or to try and like, why are you drawn to this particular activity even? Like, do you think that's what the cool kids are doing? And instead, like, focus on what you're doing and what you like to do. Or if somebody, like I said, if you feel like there's kind of a sabotaging on energy or something, that person I feel like is going to be seen and they're going to be kind of blocked here in some way as well, or you're gonna see that person like moving around in some way. But those are just the energies that I'm and all of this is very gentle and all of this is very loving and compassionate and done in a compassionate way here as well. Yeah, the Hierophant, I'm telling you, this is like the flow state. This is the intuition that I'm getting, and it feels like unbound in some kind of way, whatever this is. So Spirit, what is the okay, I just heard the word blockage. Yeah. Because some of you might have felt restricted here in some way for a long time. And it was because Spirit was trying to get you to listen to like your inner voice. And I feel like this is going to connect with something that you're doing or something that you're meant to do, because you're not supposed to necessarily be influenced by the people around you or what everybody else is doing. You're supposed to kind of find your own energy signature, you know, your own flair to something. And that really is going to make all the difference. And it might start off kind of clunky where you're like, I don't know, this doesn't really... I don't know if this is like the thing that I'm supposed to do or not, but it's going to like really go. And so you might start off where you're like, I don't really know. And then all of a sudden it kind of comes together and you're like, dang, I feel like this is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. There could be a loss here that's actually a win, but I feel like it's in the past for a lot of you. If you're not the person that I said, like, you know, you feel pressure to go with the crowd or you feel pressure to copy what someone else is doing in order to try to replicate their energy or to try to replicate their success. If you're not that person, I feel like this loss is actually in the past, and you're going to realize why that loss was actually a win. Because I feel like whatever that loss was, it like had you spending time with yourself, connecting with the flame and connecting with like your dharma. I just heard your inner dharma. Oh, interesting. All right. So yeah, there's protection energy too, like around whatever this is that you are creating or your own process. So if this is like you need time to like focus or something, there's protection energy here. Whatever this is, it feels light. A lot of people are saying that in the comments, and I agree. It feels kind of like light, but there's also like a protection around whatever this is, because I think some of you, you're a very casual person and you're a very noble person. And I think some of you can fall into the trap of like trusting the wrong people sometimes. And maybe that's been in your past. And maybe for some of you, that's the blessing. Okay. Where something here was like cleared out and you're realizing that it's for your benefit, because I do feel like something's meant to come through you, some kind of, it could be a teaching or it could be a creative project, but there's something that your karmas really do support this coming through you, whatever it is. And you're going to realize that you spending time alone, it's, or that some of your relationships falling apart, or like you having to leave that group, or you having to move for work, or whatever, it's actually was a good thing. It separated you out. There could have been a real energetic push to surround you with the wrong people, so that when your blessings came in, they could easily take that from you, or it would, I don't know, like, yeah, they could take it, but you're moving away from that, from like whatever it is. And I think you're going to realize that what looked like a loss here was actually some kind of win because of like the nature of who you are. And I feel like you needed to be this person. Like, I don't think that you're encouraged to change who you are. Like, this is a beautiful energy. I really like this King of Pentacles. He's very knowledgeable. There's actually a lot of passion energy around your knowledge. And maybe that's another blessing that's coming through as well. Like, you're just connecting all of your knowledge that you didn't almost even realize that you were kind of collecting through like maybe some kind of something casual, and like you're putting it towards whatever here. But I feel like you're meant to be in this energy. This is kind of, I'm connecting this with the flow state, like very casual, but wise, but relaxed. And you need to be in this state. And I feel like I think there was like an energetic push to surround you with people to where that it was going to, either you couldn't be this casual person because you always had to be on your guard because you couldn't trust the people around you, and you would have slowly like realized that, or you would have felt this way, like this casual way, but it wouldn't have been real. And so then somebody would have like taken something from you, and you're going to realize that is a real benefit. The other thing, there's real support around your routines. I feel like there's a lot of stability, a lot of structure. Yeah, I feel like you're surrounded by like the best people. Yeah. And I think you're going to find that either this is happening now or this happened in the past, because I don't know what stage of this you're on, because there's very much a time you had to lose something here, and it feels like people, and it feels like maybe what you thought was security because it was all you had or something, and then you're going to start to find your creative gifts and talents. And I don't know where you're at on that timeline, because for some of you I feel like maybe you are losing those people around, and maybe it does feel like very isolating or very alone, or but that is actually a blessing that's coming in, and it's like staticking your energy here as well. Like it's protecting you. There's some kind of spiritual protection that's coming in during this time of hermitude, during this time of aloneness, in order to protect your dharma and that's where it starts, like is inside of yourself. And yeah, this is really good. And then you're drawn to some kind of something or somewhere for a creative purpose, and you're going to feel like a novice or a beginner, and you are. And it's meant to be that way. And that's part of the protection, because I think people leave you alone because you are a student or you are a novice in some way. And so it's not seen as a threat, or it's not even seen as like the thing, all the people that would try to sabotage you or take from you or something. This isn't seen as the thing that they should take from you. And it's some kind of spiritual protection. And I feel like it's going to spit you out. So I don't know where you're at in that journey, but it feels like that's where you're headed. And then there's real support here. Like you're headed, whatever this is, I feel like it's going to sustain you, like in a beautiful way, in terms of like your routines. This just feels like in a routine way, and you have all the right people around you that are genuinely happy for you, genuinely like caring, genuinely supportive, see your worth and see your value, and are very loyal. I just saw the dog, like just very happy and very loyal to either like the cause. So like if these are your friends, or if this is people that you work with, or they're just loyal to like you. This is very, very beautiful. And it's like suffocating out the weeds as well, because there's definitely people here that are feeling like anxious or nervous, or they're feeling like they're having to kind of look at themselves. And I feel like that's a karmic blessing here as well. Like, I don't want to focus too much on these people, because I feel like they're out of your life, and that's, and there's a reckoning that's going on. And then they're having to kind of follow in your footsteps. I just heard Dark Night of the Soul, where a lot of these people are having to be alone and having to connect with their own self here. Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Jess and Spirit. I've been pulling the King of Pentacles recently. I've been in Hermit for 8 years and beginning to feel and see the shift. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. And like this Hermit, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think you're going to realize that you did actually kind of need it. It feels almost like a pest control problem, where if you have some kind of pest or something and you got to like really like lock everything up tight, sort of a thing. Yeah, because otherwise you would have, I feel like you shifted the energy. That's a good way of saying it, because it feels like you would have been in this energy all tied up in your head, like looking at yourself, wondering what you did wrong. But actually now you're just putting it back on other people's plate. Because I feel like people wanted to have an authority over you, and they wanted to, or have a say in what it is that you're doing, or how it is that you're doing it. And there's an end of this karma. Okay, so I just heard it's an ending of a cycle of painful karma. And I feel like that you didn't even almost realize that you were doing it. I feel like I just heard faithful, like your faithfulness is being rewarded because you were this flame, you were this candle. And this was like a test of like your grit and tenacity. And Ramana Maharshi, my teacher, says that he who succeeds owes his success to perseverance, will always owe his success to perseverance. And I feel like it kind of cannot be any other way, because it has to weed out. Like, I'm kind of seeing that you are a really strong person. You've got really good karmas, and that somebody's trying to follow behind you. And I'm seeing Spirit be like, are you ready? We about to off-road this bitch. And you're like, okay. And it's like, if you stay on this path, they're going to be able to follow you. It's too easy. And you're like, all right. And then you guys are like, zoom, like you just went off into like the trees, and you are a skillful driver of this like quad or whatever this is, you are a skillful driver of it, and you're missing trees, and these people are just hitting trees left and right. And you had to kind of go through this. And I think you had to be kind of like alone or whatever. And so you're realizing that. And I feel like there was a death of this cycle of painful karma. And it might be with like a group around you that just siphoned your energy, or they were very sabotaging. It's a death and a rebirth. You're having some kind of death and a rebirth. And, I'm kind of getting this is like, see the black that's all around this? It looks almost like a tube. Like you were in this tube of darkness, and that was maybe felt like a dark night of the soul, but it was going somewhere, and you were moving consistently the whole time. And maybe it didn't feel that way or you didn't know it, but it's just going to spit you out. And it's wherever it's spitting you out, it's vibrant, it's bohemian, it's fun, it's colorful, it's stable, it's the routines are good, the people are good. Because not just anybody can go to this place because it's hard to get there. And I just heard if it was easy, everybody would do it. And so I feel like you realize that you went through certain tests and trials. And I just keep hearing that. If it was hard, everybody would do it. If it was hard, everybody would do it. If it was hard, everybody would do it. And then that's when like the pests can come in and try to choke out all your little plants and stuff. And so you're rocketing off. I just heard you're rocketing off. What other? Oh my gosh. Okay. So trust the accidents and trust the arguments that are popping up in your life right now. Like trust your gut, because that is you moving away. I'm telling you, like you're moving away from this, like this pool here of people. Now, okay, there's some arguments that are coming in with people that you thought you could trust. You know, you thought that these people like had your back or whatever. And then there's another argument that you might have with a certain person that breaks the mold in some way. And this is a person with extremely good karmas, and they may just be maneuvered. They could be this creator person, and you might just have some kind of chance meeting or accidental meeting, and it might ruffle up your feathers. And you may have an argument with this person, but it's going to cause you, or at least an internal argument, and it's going to cause you to start reflecting on wait a second. You know, like, well, maybe they're right. You know, and so it's going to pull something apart for you. Like the veil, I just saw this because somebody here, it could be shocking, like this person, but this is like a healthy person that spirit is sending in. They're like a lightning rod, but for you in a way, like something that this person says, it's going to have that lightning rod tower moment, like effect. There could be an accident. There could be an argument. There could be an accidental argument. But whatever this person says, it's meant to ruffle up your feathers in a good way, or whatever this person does, because they may accidentally break something, or they may accidentally, and it might be your ego. I just heard some kind of fragile part of your ego might just snap or break. That is healing. That's a healing crisis. And whatever it does, it's allowed the light in. And I'm hearing, there's that Japanese, good girl, Looney. I feel like maybe it's like you want to be praised or something, but there's some kind of accident. And I'm hearing that quote of like, well, when something cracks, that's how the light gets in. And I feel like that might well happen with you, and it's going to feel bad, and it might bring out shame or guilt, but it's allowing the light into the shame, because it's like mold or whatever, like kind of grows and festers in darkness. And whatever this is, it cracks it open and allows the light to get in. It's going to feel unpleasant, but that is good karmas. That is a blessing that's coming in, and it's actually going to push you onto your path, actually. If you let it, like if you actually grapple with it, you don't try to be in denial, or if you really follow it out to what it's supposed to do, it's pushing you towards your own sun energy, which is this beautiful creator energy, this happy, vibrant healing, health and healing, because there's something here that it's like, it's not good for you. Whatever it was that you were in. And this feels like a group of people that you thought had your back. And maybe you're realizing that it was built on codependency, because maybe whatever this accident is, I think it's a person, but it doesn't have to be. It could be like an accidental, you could even run into somebody in the sidewalk and they're like, watch where you going or something. And you're like, wow, I really never watch where I'm going or something. I don't know, something. But you're going to realize that this was kind of built on codependency, and that, I don't know, that there was something, maybe it's like, I don't know, whatever this is, it's going to expose something that maybe these people were feeding on inside of you, or that you're realizing that nobody pointed this out to you before. And that's because this is not like a great, I don't know. But then also it might start an argument here, like with some of these people. And maybe this kind of reminds me of the type of relationship, you know, when you're young and you're like, we literally never fight. And then like you have an older person that's like, that kind of sounds like, maybe, do you feel like you can voice your concerns? Do you feel like you can voice your opinions? Do you feel like, you know, that's not the win you think it is, probably, especially if you've been together for a while, like you've never had a fight, like somebody here doesn't have an identity, you know, or something like that. And, I feel like there's something that you thought was like appropriate for social dynamics, and it really isn't. It's just codependency or something. And so it's actually pushing you on your rightful path, because I feel like this was like a detour or some kind of like, it's like you were kept in the swamp or something, but you didn't realize that it was like low, because the swamp is like a lowland here, and you're moving to higher ground, and you're moving towards like your sun energy, your independence from whatever this is, your creativity. And, you know, they say sunlight is the best disinfectant. So I feel like that's where you're headed towards as well. And it doesn't even feel like necessarily in a bad way. You're going independent. And this is definitely leading somewhere, wherever this is. It's one foot in front of the other. And I feel like you have to be disciplined in some kind of way at first. That might be this period of being alone here. But you have to be like disciplined at first, maybe more disciplined than is natural. But it's really rewarding. And that's what's going to lead to some kind of Page of Cups energy. Yeah, there's a balancing out. I'm telling you, there's a karmic cycle that's ended here because there was people that were taking from you and that were keeping you. It's like there was some kind of wrong view of like, if we're in a social group that we never fight, you know, if I'm in a relationship, then we never fight, or we all have to do this or we all have to do that. And it's not the case. And that's the way that they were like taking from you. And so it's like, you're kind of calling your power back. You're reclaiming your own power and you're reclaiming your own energy. But it's like, you're also pushing it all together in a very strong like stream towards something. That's what it feels like. And it's moving you. It's actually moving you forward and it's moving you onto your path. This is really beautiful. And it is a balancing out of the justice energies, because I just feel like you were actually getting taken from and you were being made low. And I think that you needed somebody to come in and argue with you or ruffle your feathers or some kind of accident or something. And that's coming in for you as well. Yeah, there's something here that you didn't see. There's a blockage. And I'm literally getting like a power washer or something that's like, yeah, like there's something here that's like false. And you needed it like disrupted and dislodged, like with tower energy in some way. And maybe with water energy too, like water tower energy, if that makes sense. And I just heard chi. It has something to do with like your chi and the way the energy is like flowing and it's not flowing where it needs to. And it's like you're blocking in some way. Yeah, you're blocking. It feels like a group, and it also feels energetic and karmic. Like you do have karmas that are coming in. This has been a theme in some of the personal readings recently as well, where it's like you do have good karmas coming in, but you needed to move away from this. Otherwise, the karmas are not going to go to you. They're just going to get like stolen, and it was going to put you in this like negative place. So I feel like spirit could have accidentally put you in this. It's going to seem to your ego that it was on accident, put you in this place before it would have popped off. Like if spirit hadn't have intervened, if that makes sense, and it popped some kind of like fear or illusion, and you realized you were at the bottom of this lake. Look, that's the lake that you're moving away from. You realize you were at the bottom of this lake, and then you actually had a lot of emotional content and that you weren't seeing the truth. You're going to realize that you weren't seeing the truth about something, and you accepting this truth, which might feel kind of harsh, or it might kind of feel kind of weird at first. And that's kind of what I'm getting like with this creative energy. It's mirroring whatever the creative energy it is that you're going to start or something. Then you're going to integrate that, and it's going to be really powerful. It's going to lead you to some kind of creative spark or creative idea. Or you're going to see yourself in a new light of like, oh, maybe I could be this kind of person. Maybe I could be that kind of person. Maybe that's what this group was doing to you, is like making you think that you're this kind of person or you're that kind of person, and that you have to be, because codependent relationships don't allow you to express yourself fully. You have to be a this kind of person so that that person can be a that kind of person. And that's what keeps this precarious like balance of like relationship together. And I think you're going to realize that, hey, I don't like that. You know, I don't want to be a part of that. An argument is coming in. Yeah, it might be. It might be an argument that, okay, so it's either an argument or an accident, and it's a blessing. Okay. And okay, so for some of you, maybe that's a blessing as well, because your brain might think argument bad. And I just heard, I wonder what kind of relationships you've had. Like if argument equals bad. So for some of you, maybe this is teaching you about arguments, like the healthy healing aspect of arguments. Maybe you've been in the wrong kind of relationships. I'm telling you, there's something here like that, where it's like the way you were looking at arguments or the way that you were looking at something. So it could be that, but also you might have some kind of accident that you discover something here. Like, oh, what's this? Queen of Wands, you know? And you realize that actually something is not okay, and you might actually be the one that starts the argument. Whereas like before, you wouldn't have stood up for yourself, because it feels like somebody here might need to be checked. So yeah, there's an argument coming in. You might start the argument because of something that you accidentally find, or that you accidentally realize, or because somebody accidentally had like a little tiff. It feels like a tiff is what it feels like a little tiff or an argument with you, and it unlocked something and it made you realize something. And then you might be like, hey, I'm not being treated this way or that way. And it's going to ruffle up your moon energy. Yeah, this is going to, and it is actually positive. Tasha, thank you so much for the super chat. So yeah, this is actually moving you towards your lovers. I feel like there's like something here. Yeah, there's something here, and you didn't want to see it. And it was keeping you in a state where you could not win and you could not be the empress and you could not actually have like the lovers. And so this is giving you some kind of quick rebirth and quick new beginning. And it is coming in and it feels like tower energy, actually, like sudden shocking out of the blue, maybe a little bit jarring, a little bit ruffling up. But this is very much like an expert hand doing this, the expert hand of spirit doing this. It feels like energy work, to be honest, but there's definitely something that's coming through on the surface. Okay, what else? Yeah, this is like unblocking your intuition about something. I think something that you thought was your intuition actually wasn't, but it was because you were contained in some way. And yeah, then you're gonna have some, I feel like, cause way down deep inside, I got a dream. I feel like you have a dream that's coming through you that you didn't see clearly in the past. And it was because you were considering other people where you shouldn't have, or you were catering to other people where you actually shouldn't have. This is like, you have karmas probably around Aries energy or fire energy. Yeah. Okay, what else? Anything else that's coming through here for pile number 1? What are the blessings that are coming in? Honestly, I feel like for some of you, this is like some of you have already been through this where you've had to go through a period of being single. For some of you, like you've learned how to manage your own finances or something, and you thought that somebody that you wanted to be with was with somebody else, and it like broke your heart and everything, but it's actually pushing you forward very strongly. There's some kind of irony to this. There's some kind of paradox. It's something you don't see coming. So when it comes in, it's a truth that you don't see. So when it comes in, it's going to feel foreign, and that's like the tower energy. And it's going to build you into the empress, whatever this is. So this is much... There are blessings that are coming in that are very momentary. They're very in the moment. They might not feel like blessings at first. They're unclogging. It's chi. I keep hearing the word chi, which is like the flow of energy in your body. You don't realize how these patterns and being in this group and having certain mindsets around relationships and codependent relationships that are built on need, and where there's covert contracts involved of I'm supposed to be this way, you're supposed to be this way, this is how we keep everything together. This is like being blown wide open in some kind of way, and your energy is going to start flowing differently in your body, and I'm telling you, it's putting you on an entirely different path. And if you trust that path, and if you just stay in the flow of that path, and I do feel like there's going to feel like a flow with it, you are getting back on your divine path, and you're healing in the sun, and there's going to be a lot more things that come to light. But it's like you couldn't recognize these smaller truths that are coming in off the back of some kind of bigger truth unless you realize it's bigger truth. And it might be a tower moment. It might be a tower moment. And so it might hurt in the moment, but then once that's clogged, then you can have small realizations about yourself, about what you want, about what you're supposed to be doing, about what's acceptable, something like that. And that's like leading you back to your path. Okay. This happened in the past. Yeah, because this is definitely a process that's unfolding, and I feel like everybody here is going to be on a different part of the process. This is also leading you to friends, genuine friends. Not this like whatever this codependent soup was. This is leading you to genuine friends. And for some of you, well, no, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, there's somebody here as well from your past that's like trying to get your attention. And it could be friends. It could be some kind of like friend group here, but somebody's like trying to get your attention. But look how like consumed she is in drumming, and how happy and how like fiery and active. Like that's the energy that you are going to be in. And it's helping you to actually cross this bridge. You're not even going to see it, or you're not even going to be drawn to it. It's helping you like almost maybe there's an irony here. I'm telling you, it's a paradox where you're going to be so like vivacious and in your fire energy, and weirdly it's helping you to like ice somebody out. And like, I just heard the word putrid when I was looking at this like yellowy green. It almost looks like putrid, like the color of like, bleh, like it feels like you're retching up some kind of old energy or something. There's energy work going on. This is energy work. There's things that are happening in the physical. And I think spirit wants you to know that they correspond with the energy work, like with the flow of energy in your own body. So yeah, this is leading you to like your friends. And for those of you who like feel like you have star family, I feel like your star family is like what's guiding you to this. And there's going to be a high perspective, and you're going to see this once you've completed this process. You're going to get to the height of this mountain, and you're going to realize what all of it was for. And you're going to have such a feeling of, it's like a crisp, fresh feeling of accomplishment. And like your ships are coming in. Your ships are definitely coming in. And I also feel like there might karmically be something where you see somebody that like put you in this putrid, like, bleh, kind of energy, like waiting for you to come back or something. I don't know. You're going to see some higher truth. You really are. that you are receiving some kind of, look at all these kings. So some of you, there's definitely like, look, we three kings of Orient are. There could be something around Christmas. But yeah, like, I feel like you are realizing see how he's like meditating and yeah. And then I think you're actually going to see somebody at the top of this mountain. You're going to see somebody from your past that was maybe negative, that they're following in your footsteps is what it actually feels like. This is like the karmic rebalancing. This is what's best for everybody. This, for some of you, this is blowing your mind, that like not being around somebody, having an argument, moving away and saying, this is not acceptable for me, holding a boundary is the best thing for people. Sometimes it is the way that you love them best, or it is the way that they love you best. Because you don't want to nurse a codependent relationship. So after you've left, I think you could see somebody emerge from their flame state where they were the hermit and had to be alone. Yeah, because look, the hermit, they were the hermit as well. And then they're going to emerge a king, whether this is a male or female, or because there's lots of people around here. They're going to emerge a king in some way, because they have to go through a period of being bound up in their head. So there's something here where it's like, maybe you didn't want this person to experience this. And because actually I'm kind of getting that, to be honest. I think a lot of you are tender souls and you didn't want this person to experience this, but that's their karmas. And so the only thing that you could do is take it into yourself. I think you didn't even realize on a soul level, this is maybe lifetimes old, that's what you were doing, that you were actually absorbing other people's karmas and living them out, and that other people's karmas are not there to wound them. For some of you, this is repairing your relationship with spirit, because you intervened actually, and you thought that it was like kind or something. So you've taken on certain people's karmas, and spirit didn't ask you to do that. And this person needed that karma. They built it, and because they need it. And like, it's about looking at it like it's the medicine or something. So there's a spiritual awakening that's happening here as well. Emily, thank you for the super chat. It's funny because this is the same deck I personally use and have been pulling the same cards recently. This clarifies. I love this. This is the Light Seers Tarot, in case anybody cares about this. But yeah, I really like this deck. So this is happening on a lot of different levels. There's something happening on the physical. Okay, but spirit wants you to know whatever's happening on the physical. It might seem like a tower. It might seem like an accident. It might seem like an argument, or that whatever this accident is causes an argument. But that this is divinely instituted in order to clear out the bugs and clear out the parasites around you, possibly around this other person, to have you guys go your separate ways. Parasites being codependent people around you that are trying to leech off of, if this is a relationship, possibly the energy between the two of you together, trying to pull you guys apart in some way to steal one of you. And, you know, this is going on both sides, perhaps. Like, no, you don't need that. So it's a matter of like going within. But this is changing the flow of energy within your own body and your own auric field. And it's realigning you with your divine path. And I kind of feel for a lot of you, there's a reunion here. Like if you feel like there's a divine soulmate or something, this is the way to that reunion. But what you're doing is you're shaking all the fleas off in the process. And that needs to happen for the safety and well-being of not just you and anything that will flow from you, whatever creative project, but also for this other person. And you need to meet in that energy. So this is kind of a paradox here where it's like, it's not goodbye forever, but we both have to be alone because there's too many people around that are confused about what their own path is, and they're trying to steal it from other people, and they're trying to like replicate it and stuff. These people need to be dealt with, and you're not to deal with them. You're just supposed to and then like head right into the forest so they can't follow after you. And then I feel like it's going to spit you out in this place where it's hard to get to. And that's where there could be a reunion, but I don't it feels like somebody's definitely there first and for a while. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like this, basically, it's leading here to this King of Pentacles, where there's a lot of stability, there's a lot of foundation, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of, I love this guy so much. Like, I really do. Just happy, casual, not taking himself too seriously, has a lot of knowledge, but this feels like life knowledge, because Earth, everybody knows the Earth moves like very slow, and it's something that you've learned through doing, some kind of knowledge that you could not have accumulated any other way, and you're going to look back on this. This is kind of the thing that I feel like makes spiritual people different as well, is you want that payout at the end. You know that there's no substitute for it, and you want that payout at the end where you're like smoking a cigarette with God, like, damn, that was crazy, and I thought you were crazy. Yeah, I thought you were crazy. But as it turns out, you were correct as per usual. Like, and I feel like you're building a bond with, I almost think that this is Shiva, because there's death and destruction energy here. Maybe a lot of you are very reluctant to put a death energy on things because you feel like it's cruel, or I'm talking to Jess here. I'm talking to old version of Jess here. And Shiva is very much just like, let me show you how death is necessary. You know, like every single winter when all the crops die, that it kills all the parasites too, so that you can have fresh crops come up in the spring. And if you know that there's a purpose and that it comes around at the end of every season, you can can some food. You can, and you're going to be just fine with the winter time. But we have to go through these kind of trials because it's, you know, so I feel like some of you've been afraid to dead certain energy because you think that makes you cruel, but you've really just been nursing codependent relationships. And I feel like you've been taking in other people's karmas instead of allowing them to live them out themselves. And I'm hearing kind of destiny swapping. And I think some of you could realize that in a way, energetically behind the scenes, you've kind of been colluding with the energy of somebody destiny swapping with you or your partner, or trying to do that because you just have such a soft heart that you can't allow them to receive the karmas that they need to receive. And maybe for some of you, you receive a karma that you have needed to receive. And I just feel you're going to learn the benefit of it all. Like at the very, that's what this is. But there's, yeah. So this is energy work is what it feels like. It feels like a path is opening up if you trust it. And I feel like you're going to see things on the 3D, possibly misunderstand it, but just know there's an energetic component to it. And it's leading somewhere. And that wherever it's leading, it's some kind of, creative skill. And because you're in alignment with your path, like I said, you're drawing in some kind of teacher or inspiration. And it might be more than one person that's your teacher, because it could be that, like, say you're into painting, right? Because that's like what's here. You might go to a festival and where there's a lot of people painting and it's just very casual and you're like, oh my God, I love this. And it's the love. I know that I get really good at the things that I love very quickly, you know, where it's just like, I just love doing this and it's like fun and casual, you know, or if you've ever been to a festival where people are like painting on murals and stuff, it might not even be a painter's festival, but you're just like painting on some kind of shared mural that everybody's working on. And you're like, dang, I think I have like a little bit of a knack for this, you know, like it's going to just allow your life to unfold like in this beautiful way and participate with it and rise to the Dharma. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, whoa. And I feel like you're going to know what it feels like to be one with the spiritual experience. And that's embracing the ferocity sometimes. And it's embracing the death energy that is Shiva. You don't have the full Godhead unless you've got Shiva in there, death and destruction. And the Bible itself, it's filled with that like raja, like, you know, of the God energy. Allow that to come through you as it needs to. Keep in balance with all things and watch what that does for you. And I feel like that's the blessings that are coming in. And this is one that has to be, I just heard you have to see it to believe it, or you think you have to see it to believe it, but this is like, you will believe it when you see it. Like you're going to live it and you're going to get somewhere and you're going to believe it when you see it. And you're going to be like, holy shit. And you're going to know it was bigger than you because you're going to know that you could never have done that on your own. You never could have even realized that those were needed things. You thought that your ego thought that those were all bad things or that some of those things were bad things. But actually it's what got you the thing that you wanted in the end. It's what got you the fulfillment that you wanted in the end that you didn't know how to reach on your own. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. That's what's coming in. The Lightheart Alchemist, thank you so much for the super chat. We need a discussion on help and the extent to which it is karmically moral to help someone. Yes, we do. Because I feel like that's something that I am trying to figure out myself, you know? And I feel like it's probably moment to moment, but yeah. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, Blue Butterfly said, I had a dream where I was taking on an ex's energy when he was exhausted and I snapped out of it and freaked out because consciously I know I shouldn't do that since he doesn't even deserve it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is like leading to some kind of lovers. And I don't know if it's like, this is the kind of thing, for some of you, this is like a creative activity or something where you're just so at one with it. It like just comes through you. It's like, if people try to describe how you do it, it's like, yeah, you could point here and there, but you're like, I mean, this like love that I feel, that like this alchemy that I feel, like it just can't be replicated. And I want that for you so bad. I want for you to find the thing that makes you come alive like that so bad because it just feels so good. It's flow state. I feel like it's flow state. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. Oh, and compassion. And you're going to realize that this is actually compassion, you know? Yeah. I hope that makes sense. I don't feel like I could explain it any better than I already have. It's something that has to be like lived and felt to be like understood completely. And that's kind of the point of life. Life itself is an alchemy. And we can have people explain things and point things, but unless you're willing to kind of throw yourself into the fire like a phoenix, and I feel like that's what this group is meant to do. And I'm kind of seeing like fleas and stuff that are being like burned off, you know, then then you're going to continue to suffer, is what I just heard. Then you're going to continue to suffer and tell yourself that it's noble or that it's for noble reasons. And I can't wait for you to learn that life is suffering, but that you don't have to suffer where it's not needed. You know, like, I hope that makes sense. Anyways, I'm putting that down. Okay, so if you're just joining us, there is 3 piles here. Okay, it makes perfect sense. Okay, good. Yeah, and Indigo Phoenix said, pain is a teacher, let others feel their pain so they can learn. I kind of have learned over the course of my life that it's very condescending to not think that other people can do hard things, you know? And it's like, and we just tell ourselves, it's a selfish way that we derive our own ego sometimes, you know, where it's like, but I'm protecting you. I don't want you to go through this hard thing. And it's like, nobody wants to go through hard things, but like I don't know, it's kind of rude or like even condescending to think that somebody can't go through a hard thing, you know? And that's different than abuse. A hard thing, I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about injustice. I'm not talking about things like that. But I'm just saying, like, suffering a repercussion of their actions or struggling uphill to get somewhere. Like, those can be incredibly rewarding experiences. And we have to start looking at them like that. Like, that's the experience that you're going to have, is like climbing this hill. And yes, was it unpleasant a lot of the way up? Sure. But like, it's that feeling of accomplishment. And there's such a joy that comes through that. That's like kind of what we're taking away from people whenever we intervene because we're just so good or at, you know, intervening or whatever. All right. Okay, so we're moving on to pile number 2, the nectar. I'm just cruising along. I'm just cruising right along here. I'm just going to compassion this, and I'm going to rose water this as well. Maybe you're going to have the gift of good smell. Okay, Spirit. Let's see. Okay, I feel like this group might not have to be alone anymore, but okay, let's see. What blessings are coming in? This feels like I'm kind of getting pleasantness, like pleasant music, a pleasant ambiance. Like I'm seeing kind of the breeze blowing through like fresh linen curtains, something here like that. So maybe some of you are going to a spa or you're going on vacation or something. There feels like, again, like kind of a lightness and the energy here. Okay, I kind of feel, okay, with this nectar card, so like see the bottom half of this, it's like a sun and on the outside, and then there's like a darkness on the inside where somebody's like reaching out. So I feel like for some of you, this is the energy that you could have been in. Like with the sun, energy was like all around you. So maybe for some, this environment that I'm seeing was like all around you, but you actually felt like you were in the dark night of the soul. This is maybe the feeling of like being very lonely in a crowd or something like that. And it's because you were working through something internally at the very least. Like this could be depression or something. And so you're trying to reach for like this flower, this nectar, the spiritual nectar here. You were trying to reach for that. And I feel like you are actually going to gain purchase in whatever this is. And it could be because Spirit is sending you a teacher with the sun, some kind of guiding light, some kind of guiding philosophy or something like that. I just heard the sun shines upon you. And you are actually going to hit this like nectar. And it might be some kind of spiritual nectar, but it could be where yeah, like you're gonna feel this like lightness internally. You really are. Okay, what are the incoming blessings here? I just heard it's something you would not expect that's going to make the difference. There's kind of overlapping energies here from pile number 1 with this like the accident and the something here, but this feels like maybe accidentally discovering something good. Like I don't know if you're hiking in the woods and then like you accidentally discover, well, actually I had this dream one time. This was a long time ago. And like all my friends were hanging out on the beach and taking pictures and stuff. And there were all of a sudden these little rocks that were appearing in the water. And I was like jumping from rock to rock to rock. And I actually got like pretty far out. And all of a sudden like the water like flowed over to the side and it got like really, really deep. But the water was like crystal clear. And I could see like an entire underground city. And I was like, I turned back and I was like, hey, like I was trying to get people's attention and nobody could see me because I was like too far out. They could see me, but they couldn't like really see that I was trying to get their attention. And they were all so busy like with the picnic and taking pictures, and I was like, there's this whole like freaking thing. So for some of you, there's like something here like that, and you're gonna discover this like thing that's like just for you. It feels like it's just for you, but it's like grand and it's majestic. Oh, I just got goosebumps. I feel like some of you are like, there's some kind of like goosebump kind of some of you are going on vacation though, because I feel like you're gonna see something majestic, or yeah, I'm literally getting goosebumps, awe-inspiring. And it could be like a natural formation, like I'm hearing the word hermosa, like from, I know my pronunciation is terrible, but from Spanish, and it means like beautiful, but it's this like, you can't put it into words. And a lot of times it's associated with like the natural wonders of the world. It's something here like that, where it's just like awe-inspiring, or like the scale of something is something that you were like not expecting. Yeah, and temperance. Okay, so like, I don't know if some of you are trying to overcome addictions, or like if you've maybe been drinking too much or something, you're going to find purchase with this. Maybe that's the dark night of the soul for some of you. There's been an addiction here, and you are going to find some kind of like temperance here with that. You really are. You're going to find that. And okay, so this is very specific. For those of you that have been caught in addiction, I'm hearing like, I'm sorry for the things that I did like when I was active in that addiction. And I feel like some of you are going to find your temperance, and you are going to feel sorry and say sorry, possibly for some kind of drama, competition, argument, kerfuffle here. And there's going to be healing brought into this space, like genuine healing. And somebody's going to see that. Maybe somebody here is like protective or defensive because they're looking at this like very logically of like, I'm trying not to let you in. But I feel like they might be removing their boundaries. And for some reason, I feel like people are watching this, like there could be people that have like tried to tear this connection down, or that were secretly, this feels like kind of secretly happy that you and another person are like not getting along because they felt like it makes them look better, or it makes them, yeah. And so I feel like you are actually dealing with the root of it, which feels like an addiction for a lot of you. You're finding your temperance. Maybe some of you maybe this was an anger thing for some of you, or this could flip the energies. Somebody here could actually be working through an addiction. And I just heard maybe you knew they were going through an addiction, or maybe you didn't, but I feel like, yeah. And so some of you are waiting for an apology, and like you kind of feel though that like there's no way that this person could apologize to you or you would ever believe them, but they're coming in this like genuinely holy energy. It feels like a holy energy because they really have done the work here, and they found their temperance. And yeah, there's something like poisonous that was going on around the solar plexus, and maybe that's what led somebody here to an addiction. You're going to get to the root of that. So I don't know if this is you or if this is somebody else. There was something poisonous around the root chakra, I just said the root chakra, so maybe as well. It could have had to do with like their rooted space and not feeling very secure, like in the earthy realms, but it was affecting their confidence. Like, all I want to do is just rub my solar plexus chakra and just tell myself it's going to be okay. And I just saw somebody rubbing the Buddha's belly. So I don't know. Some of you are going on a trip, and it might be a spiritual trip. Some of you, maybe this is like ayahuasca, or there's some kind of spiritual trip here. It feels very divinely sanctioned. But some of you are going somewhere in the physical, and maybe both. I don't know. You could go to some kind of retreat center. Maybe this is rehab for some of you, or this is maybe like an Asian country or something, because I just saw somebody rubbing the Buddha's belly, and that getting them better. Okay, so I just heard the eightfold path. Some of you, in addition to like working a 12-step program or addiction, or somebody else is doing this, they're finding Buddhism actually. And Buddhism, like the accepting that life is suffering. I think this person felt that there was something weird or wrong with them because they experienced suffering in their life. And maybe this is you, or like because there was something wrong with their rooted space, like because I just heard, I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me, like they thought that there was something wrong with them, but then they found Buddhism. I kind of feel like Buddhism is important here, or those energies are here. And like I'm hearing Pemmican Baba, and Pemmican Baba is like a saint that went into the wilderness and tamed the demons. And I feel like that's maybe what this person has done, or they've gone to a place where this has occurred. And it feels, I don't know, like there's some kind of land, there's some kind of place associated with this, and it feels like a natural place, or a place where the nature and the human built spaces are very much the same. I'm literally getting goosebumps. Some of you may have already done this in the past, and the gifts are just going to keep on giving. And for some of you, I feel like you could be soul connected to somebody here actually. And because you've done this work, or because I feel like I want to cry, but this is like, I just heard thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just heard that Rumi quote that says, if the only prayer you ever said was thank you, it would be good enough. Oh my gosh, I just feel like I want to cry. I feel like this is like a religious experience or like a spiritual experience. I keep, throughout this whole pile, I'm just having a lot of sensations. So again, for some, this is like a detoxifying experience. And if this is not like of a certain substance, this is like on some kind of dependence on an energetic level. Holy shit. Like I just keep feeling like waves of stuff like purging from my body. It just feels like, and I'm having a lot of different sensations, and a lot of it is connecting with like the sourness in the solar plexus chakra. There's like a real chakra healing. Somebody could be getting an energy cleansing or energy work done here that's really powerful, and it's cleansing the right things. And it might feel uncomfortable at first because again, it's like it's bringing up the sourness in the solar plexus chakra. It's bringing up the insecurity in the root. I feel like I want to cry, but then there's just these goosebumps and there's like this wave of feeling grateful, and like it feels like purging. It feels like, you know, when you flush something out and then something kind of contracts and then you flush something out. It feels like that movement is kind of like what's going on here. And it feels like a detoxifying, like on some kind of energetic level. And then we've got this flame energy. I mean, this is giving monastery is what it's giving. And that is actually what's changing somebody. I feel like there could have been something here. It feels, like I said, it feels like you're soul connected with somebody. Something could have gone on here that really had somebody not in their emotions towards you. Somebody was like, no. And you know why they did that. You know that they had their good reason and they had to learn how to protect themselves. And this was a good lesson for this person as well. But there were people that were like hanging on to this pain, or like felt that they benefited, or that they looked more beautiful, or that they looked more chosen, or something here because of that. They wanted to be seen as like a higher cup here, and they felt like they only had that opportunity if they ruined something between. So maybe they didn't even ruin it, but they were just happy. They were just happy that somebody here was like pissed or like out of the picture or something. But this person, I feel like, is actually going to like soften and remove their boundaries because somebody here's like actually done the inner energy work. I feel like it's energy work. Something needed to change energetically. Something needed to change energetically. And that's happening, whether this is within you or whether this is without of you. And somebody who has like done all of this to you. Gosh, I keep feeling things in my body. I felt like that there was a place where I was like pierced by an arrow, and that could have been like in a past life. I just heard shot through the heart and you're to blame, honey, you give love a bad name. But it just felt like something snapped. I just saw Shiva again, snapped the arrow, pulled it out this way and pulled it out that way. And like now I'm receiving some kind of treatment. This is crazy. I feel like wounds are actually being healed here, but it's like from the inside out. And it's because somebody here has like gained their temperance and they possibly let go, because the temperance, again, it's very spiritual. And they turned something around, and it feels like they turned an addiction around, and then they turned something around in the physical world, and they left behind the physical world. Like they seek ye not the fruits of, the fruits. Of like the pleasures or like the senses or something. And so somebody here is like enlightened, and I feel like this is fast. This is extremely supported. I don't know if you prayed or like you could have paid somebody for energy work or for a retreat or something here. This is very beneficial, whatever's gone on here. Somebody's super pissed about this though. Somebody is super pissed about this because they wanted to be the favorite. There's people here who want to be the favorite, but they're not genuinely the favorite. And I don't know how people like this don't feel embarrassed and grossed out. Maybe that's part of the healing as well. Okay, so for some, it's an addiction to being the favorite. But I just heard humiliated or humiliating because somebody here is like going to places where they're not the favorite. And whoever it is that they're trying to do that to, or whoever they're trying to dupe, and they ruin things and they cause like some kind of competition here, that person's moving away. That person's actually elevated now. They're elevating. They're seeing things clearly. They don't want it. They legit don't want this anymore. And it's got somebody else here pissed off. But whoever this is has an addiction to being the favorite. And they're very aggressive, like actually because of that. They also want to be seen as like something that they're not. They want to be seen as like sweet or following some kind of philosophy or, and they don't. And they cover a lot about themselves, and they're really actually pissed. And they're going to want to come at this person who's found their temperance. And they may want to take their money, or they may try to go, I don't know, sleep with someone else or whatever. But yeah, in order to try to like flick this person in the face, but this person's found their temperance. So it could be an addiction to being like the favorite or being chosen. Maybe that's what this person's realizing. And I think for some, like they did this to a soulmate, and it was all the flicking in the face and all like the competing that drove somebody away, but they're like getting to the root of it. They're getting to the root of it. So I feel like there's some type of addiction that's being cleansed, whether this is for you or somebody else. So for some of you though, like you were treated very badly and you were probably very confused, and I feel like you might receive an apology, and it might be a part of, I don't actually think it's going to be a part of working a 12-step program, because I know one of the steps in 12 steps is you apologize to the people that you can, and you don't feel like it's going to be traumatizing to them. But you apologize to the people that you can for like the things that you did when you were active in your addiction. And I feel like some of you might be a part of that, but this feels like after they've worked through their 12-step program, I feel like there's a Buddhist aspect to this. There's like a spiritual aspect to this. There's like, I'm actually working through my addiction. That's done. That's taken care of. And now I'm working on living a spiritual life and setting a spiritual foundation. And this is a person who might literally go live in a monastery, or who might go on some kind of spiritual retreat, or do ayahuasca. I don't know how. I know some people who have addictions, they don't want to do like an ayahuasca or something, or there's just a meditation retreat or something here, and they're really getting somewhere with it. This is genuine, and it's changing the fate lines here, and it's changing from the inside out, the connection between somebody that I feel like somebody here is like connected to, because it's removing like the karmics and whatever they were like. And karmics can be the addiction, like whatever, like the alcohol or the substance, whatever that was hooking into in this person. It feels like solar plexus and root chakra, and maybe the sexual energy here too. That can't find any purchase anymore. There's nothing for it to grab onto, because this person has healed themselves from the inside out, and they've said, this is a me problem. I'm not going to ever satiate myself enough. It's craving. Craving is the root of suffering. That's very Buddhist. So I'm never going to ever like satiate my craving to the point of non-suffering. It's not the way. So somebody you're seen through that, and they've pursued the spiritual path or something. And so, yeah, I think either this is you. Congratulations. This is like huge. And it's an energy shift. It's an energetic shift. And again, I'm hearing Pemis and Baba, because Pemis and Baba drives out the demons, or actually converts the demons to being protectors of the Dharma, protectors of the Buddha Dharma. So maybe this is somebody's spiritual purpose in this life, or they've gone to a place where that's like already occurred. And so there's that almost like demonic energy that's been reversed. I put my game down, flip it, and reverse it. It's been like reversed. And now those demonic energies are actually protectors of like this person. It's crazy. The flip in the energy is crazy. And there's a loyalty, actually. Those like demonic energies are like very loyal to the one that showed them the errors of their ways. Oh, this is wild. Yeah. Yeah. And somebody here like wants a reunion with this person, and they're thinking better of it, because they see the truth. They see the truth, and they kind of realize that person, somebody here looks like they have like stability or something to offer on a material level, but they just know that it's not in alignment. They know it's not in alignment with spirit, and they would rather align with spirit, actually. They know that it's possibly like what fucked them up, and that they should have been in the Knight of Pentacles energy all along. They should have one step in front of the other, built something that nobody could take away, and built it in harmony with spirit. Somebody here is like kind of realizing that they're going back to the root. Somebody here is going back to the root and the cause of all like their dramas and all their problems. And they're maybe like lighting a tower on fire. So they're getting rid of relationships that no longer serve them, towers that they built. This is like thought. Sometimes I think about the tower as being built in the mind. Like there's old thought structures that they thought that were actually anchoring the ego identity, is what I'm getting. Those are like actually being lit up. This is a huge enlightenment experience, is what this is. And I feel like they're prepared to fight for their sovereignty, like if necessary. From this, they've realized this is what their enemy looks like. That. They realized it. And that they want a divine union, but this feels like with spirit, most of all. Like wanting to make sure that it's declared energetically and in every way that they can that their alliance is with spirit. And somebody here is willing to work. And there's people here who are like, and I don't even know that they're romantic, or they in some way look better than they actually are. I'm just here, the roses really smell like boo, boo, boo. Because like these people have the flowers in their hair, but they actually like are rank. They are not great. And so because this person's changing, it's like there's something about this person being around that makes these people seem acceptable or whatever. And that's not being supported anymore. So they're all like, oh no, I guess I have to change. And so I'm seeing them take the flowers out, and they're like, I guess I have to stop pretending that this is like a lifestyle that's worth living, or that this is better than wherever I'm supposed to be, you know? Something here like that. Because it feels like this is like some kind of karmic group that has cropped up around feelings of insecurity, root chakra issues that have built up into an addiction, possibly of being the favorite around certain people. This is like being tempered out, dealt with, and then this group is naturally dispersing here. And that's healthy. That feels very healthy. And it's changing fate lines here. It's changing fate lines here, like for the best. And then that's like the blessings and the luck. I feel like spirit doesn't, there's a spiritual boon, and I feel like that's what somebody wants here. They want to feel at peace with themselves and like harmonious with themselves. But I also feel like there's a wheel of fortune that's coming in, and it might be for some it like might be prominence in some way. I just heard providence. And I think somebody here has to admit that they fucked up in some kind of way. I think they have to admit that they, did I chase the glitz and glamour, money, fame, and power? If so, that will forever go down my lamest hour. I think somebody has to say, I had a real thing over here. And that could be a person, that could be a degree. I should have finished my degree program. I should have whatever. I had this over there. I threw it all over for this. This was wrong. It looks picture perfect. Somebody has to admit that. That's their confessional energy. There might even, I'm seeing somebody kind of make a post about this, like on their social media of like, and that's why I'm going to the monastery and I'll be there for the next 3 years, for like a meditation retreat or something. And it just feels like that confessional energy is what releases them and what sets them free. And, it's what's needed to change their fate lines here. There's an admission and an owning of the truth of something not being what it was, because you have to stop. Here's the thing. You have to stop leading people up the garden path. We have to stop pretending that the devil's path is happy. It doesn't give you the fruits of happiness. So if you've gone up the devil's path and you're embarrassed and you're scared and you're like, and I live the dream, and you fucking don't, stop pretending, because you're leading people up the garden path. They're looking and they're saying, okay, well, how do I mimic that? And they shouldn't be looking over there. They need to be looking at the people who have actually found some level of contentment. And I feel like that's what this person's actually like going towards. And it might not look like whatever life they thought that they were trying to, lead or accomplish here in some kind of way. And it's just one foot in front of the other. And they got to get behind that drum beat. It's just one foot in front of the other. There is no shortcut. I try to take a shortcut. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Okay. And all the things that glitz and sparkle, all of it is empty. All of it is meaningless. Take it from me. I know for sure. It's like, you got to get behind that of just speaking the truth. And that way people do not continue to be confused, and we do not continue to feed these negative energies. We have to own up to our own truth. We have to own up to the truths of our lives. All right. So I feel like that's it. There's, this is actually really beautiful. This is the one that I think is like the coolest so far. Anyways, yeah. So yeah. This is like an emotional cleansing and emotional purging is like the benefit here. And it feels like some kind of spiritual freedom or spiritual enlightenment. Anyways, and like there's a real sweetness. And I just want to say there's also some kind of beautiful landmark or something that you're going to. Anyways, that's what I have for pile 2. I think I'm going to leave that there. We're going to compassion this. And I feel like whoever is doing this is like having compassion for their old self, and they're having compassion for the people that they were around. You know, it's like, I wish you well. It's not, I didn't have love for you in the past is what I'm hearing. I had some kind of selfish affection where I was trying to use you or gain something or pretend something. And that's not real love. And you deserve real love. Okay. So this is actually what love feels like. I'm sorry. I should have given this to you sooner. I should have given you my truth sooner. I've been a miserable person, and I've been a slave to this addiction forever. And you deserve genuine love, and I'm just leeching off of you or something here like that. Yeah. All right. Compassion. They're learning what compassion actually is. And it's not like a fake smile. It's not what it is. It's genuinely wanting what's best for people. Even if that's not selfish, you know? Yeah. Actually, I'm just going to read this. Fear of losing others. I pursue you to capture and own you. It feels like somebody here's like hoarding people, actually, in some way. Fear of losing others. I pursue you to capture and own you. Yeah. Somebody has to own up to that. Somebody has to start letting these people kind of go. So they might lie or pretend in order to try to keep certain people around. And it is like they're not being authentic, but it's like they're just also not allowing those people to go where they need to go. So yeah, okay, that's that. Dang, I still feel it in my body, like aches and stuff. So I feel like somebody here may have like aches or something in their body, and as they start to kind of move this, it is the energy work, and it's like pushing that out. Okay. The other options must be crying. Interesting place for it to start glitching. Okay, well, maybe, Alex, do you think I should take a break now and...
regarding what?
The glitching that people are experiencing, or...
Oh, well, I mean, there's really not much that we can do.
Oh, okay.
Looking good on our end, so.
Okay. So I'm going to...
Yeah, like, it seems like it's a YouTube issue that if people refresh, it's mostly fixing it.
And I thought I grabbed my water, but could I trouble you for a little water? Because all I have is my tea. All right. I'm just going to throw that up there in case anybody's joining. We've already done the first two piles, which is the creator and the nectar. And then we're moving to the orphan. And also, look at this bunny's butt. Look at that. It's okay now? Okay. Oh, Mercury retrograde shadow's doing its thing. Thanks, Bill. I hope pile 3 is about the rabbit's butt.
Well, maybe that's pile 4 again. If you look at the...
Oh my gosh, maybe. I'm just going to put some gloss on. I feel like I've just been powering through these. Have I? Yeah, I feel like I have actually. I'm proud of myself. Okay. Aw. Thanks, guys. Compassion, lip gloss, flow. You know, I think I've said this before. I'm embarrassed to say how much I used to love the Jersey Shore because I grew up in an environment like that. I don't know. It just like kind of comforts me. But they have like gym, tan, laundry, GTL. And so we should have our own version of that. Compassion, lip gloss, flow. Something like that. All right. Pile number 3, the orphan. Little orphan Annie. What is what incoming blessings are coming in for pile number 3? For some of you, there's something positive coming in with a child. Or if you are this child and you have a parent that's negative, you're going to succeed in protecting yourself from that parent. Because I feel like there could be a parent here who tries to like lure you back in with some kind of promises or something here, but you're going to successfully defend yourself. And for others of you, if you have like, I don't know, say you're having a problem with a parent who is like trying to keep a child from you or something, I feel like there's something positive coming in. Like you're going to have some kind of reunion or something. Yes. Some kind of happiness or clarity. So either you're getting away from a toxic parent and you're going to successfully do that. You're going to have happiness and clarity. Or if somebody's being weird with your child, I feel like you're going to have some kind of maybe a judgment or a ruling in your favor. There could be a secret that is unearthed here. Something is going to come out and maybe into the light of day. About their controlling nature or something like that. Could be. Yeah, because whatever it is, it's like, whoa. And maybe even if this is like a toxic parent, but they seem like they've got everything, like something here could come out about them as well. Okay, so what incoming blessings are coming in for pile number 3? You guys, okay, I feel like somebody is here is like plotting or scheming here, and I just feel like they're going to get confused. Like whatever it is that they're trying to like scheme or accomplish. And for some of you, this may have to do with the court system, or it might have to do with some kind of contract, or trying to get you into a contract or bind you here in some way. And whatever that is, they are going to get confused. And you might also get confused, but in a way that ends up saving you. And it's just because you're in a sweet, innocent energy and there's some kind of justice. I'm telling you, there could be, I feel like there's like a cosmic ruling here that has been petitioned either on your behalf or, and for some of you, this could be happening in the physical. For others of you, I feel like this is just energetically, and like it's just been decreed that this person needs to get lost and get a life. I remember in pile number 3 when this was like a few weeks ago now, but there was this horrible energy that came out in pile number 3, and I kept saying, I was like, get a life, like, you know, get like some healing, like you need something. So I feel like there could have been some kind of like, I don't know if you've asked, like, after that energy was unveiled, or maybe you already knew about it, like, but I feels like there's been some like divine ruling that's like gone in the favor of this. And for some of you, this is echoing on the physical, where there is literally some kind of a court ruling here. And it's really, I think, putting somebody in their place. Like they're feeling small, or they're feeling like self-protective, or they're like, and they don't know what to do. For some, it might cost them some money. Yes. Oh my gosh, there's so much confirmation. I feel like you're getting a lot of confirmations, like yes energy of yes queen, kind of energy of, I feel like a lot of people are in agreement with you, or a lot of people are actually seeing something here, and you're getting some kind of justice. Somebody here was like trying to maybe control you by throwing the rule book at you, or some kind of like red tape, or like the devil's in the details is what I'm getting, of some kind of weird contract that they were trying to pretend was all like nice or happy or something. But actually they were trying to maybe destiny swap with you, or change your fate lines, or affect their own. They were trying to profit off of you in some way, or yeah. For some of these could have been a baby trap situation in the past. So somebody was trying to like, and men baby trap women, okay? Like they were trying to profit off of being with you, trying to trap you in some way, trying to make you feel alone, trying to like hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. And I feel like because you didn't give up on yourself, and like you had faith in yourself here, whatever it is, and you were like, no, I'm calling back my own power. I'm calling back my own karmas. I know the truth of who I am, and I'm having the faith to like carry that out in the world. I feel like, yeah, this is like being reversed. I'm hearing something here is being reversed. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Yeah, but there could be like, there also might be a secret that they don't know about, and it ends up like really doing them in. Or there might be a secret that you're filled in about, like you are secretly alerted to something here. And then, so when they start to make their moves and they think that they're winning in some way, you actually have the heads up, or you have some kind of knowledge, or you've already been able to do some kind of research or something. And then that person is like at a loss, whatever it is. Dang, I feel like this group has probably been through it, like really been through it in some way, like with another person, because pile 2 seemed like they've been through it, but maybe it was with an addiction, and it could have been with another person who had an addiction. This is a group that feels like you were targeted by somebody that was like trying to act like they were trying to act like they tried to lure you in some way, or they tried to act like they were friendly, or that they had the mostest or something, and that they were being fair, or that they were being pleasant, or that they wanted to have a relationship with you, or that they wanted, and no, that's not at all what it was. The truth is coming out about this. The truth is coming out about this in some way. Yeah. I think you were encouraged to think that you were like building in some way, but actually there was some kind of delusion here, and there was this like shark energy. The truth. Okay, the sun keeps coming out, and then the Ace of Swords keeps coming out. There's a real clarification of truth, and it feels like there are little truths that are coming out that are like, who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? And it was like, you did, you know, like that's like what's coming out. But also it feels like there's a broader truth, you know, like with the sun of like, and this is why you did it, or this is who you are. There's like, there's these like truths, but then there's this like broader truth that's like also coming out. So, and it feels like maybe multiple of these in a row. Yeah. And there's a secret nature to this. Spirit's like not saying certain things about this because it's got your back in some kind of way. Look, Spirit is heavily involved. It may also involve some kind of, I just heard fortune, or some kind of house. Somebody could leave a house. It could be a child, or it could be somebody is like leaving this person that is nasty, and maybe whatever that is unveiling some kind of, it's unraveling an illusion, or it's unveiling some kind of secret. look, this keeps coming out. This is so weird because every time I like open the deck, it's the Sun or it's the Ace of Swords. Like it's just only one of those two cards. There's some secrets are coming out, but I also feel like it might be having to be worn on this person's face, if that makes sense. Like it has to be like, it's almost worn for people to see. And it could be that like this, maybe this child, if this child's old enough to leave, then I feel like they are leaving, or even this child could have been made to feel responsible for some kind of argument or some kind of binding. So what's the blessing? Distance, healing. So you're successfully getting away from this, or this child is successfully getting away from this, and like healing. And there's some kind of, look at that goldfish is like belly up there. And so, and look, there's a cat energy right next to it. It's kind of like something can see in the dark, and actually you have spiritual help. There's like divine help in this as well. I keep saying in this pile, I don't know if you've prayed or if you've asked for assistance. There's assistance coming in from the past. And for some of you, this is star family. This is like star family that you know from the past. Yeah, from some kind of past devil energy. You thought this person was a friend, or you thought that they were trying to help you, or they positioned themselves like that, but really they like hated you, or they wanted to start some kind of fight or some kind of argument with you or with somebody else. They wanted you like this, but I feel like this person's going to be like this. You're going to find your strength and you're going to avoid their trap. Like this person may have set some kind of manipulation trap, or you're getting out of it. Anything else? Look, it's a tower moment. There's a tower moment. But it feels like some person here is like trying to maneuver. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that's just their plans getting like thrown out the window. And they're to try to cause a tower moment, and it just feels like spirit gives this person what they were giving to you. Like just put the game down, flip it in reverse, sit. Because there's things that are not known here. And it feels like this is like this divine fool energy where I feel like you're just maybe in the flow, or you're just like maybe you go after some kind of new beginning or something here, and then this person's trying to come after you, and then spirit just steps in. Or they think that they can have a new beginning, or they get impulsive about something. Maybe because they're angry, and then they get snared. That's what it feels like. They get snared in their own bind here. And then the truth is coming out about that, and they start to see things differently. And if this person's been lying to themselves about being in this devil energy, they have no choice other than to look at themselves differently. But I also feel like there's something public about this. Yeah, where like you were flung out, I feel like, or that's what they wanted to happen. But I feel like for some of you that, or somebody that you loved was flung out, like somebody got flung out here, and it's causing people to review. It's causing people, yeah, it's like all the snow melts and people can see what's actually on the ground here. They're manifesting some kind of blockage in communication. So it could be like, I don't know if this is like a co-parenting situation, like they get court ordered that they have to, something about their communication has to be through a certain app or a certain way, or there is some kind of ending here. Somebody here could be leaving this person as well. And I don't know if this is a business partner. There could be some kind of contract here. So it could be a marriage partner, a business partner. It could be something to do with the court system. But somebody here is realizing that they were a fool for trusting this person, and that something needs to change. Somebody here is actively realizing that. And they're thinking about some kind of new beginning. It could have had to do with alcohol here as well. I just heard the grapes of wrath. They could be realizing that they were lured in by somebody's grapes of wrath. Yeah, there's wrath energy here. This person's like very vengeful, but I feel like they keep a lid on it or something. And they try to make it seem like the people who are angry with them for being dicks are the vengeful ones. So this person's like flicking people in the face, and then people are like, you're a fucking dick. They're like, oh my God, what an anger issue you have, you know? But really it's their anger and that they're putting in the situation. Yeah, somebody here is going to have some kind of. Okay, so the other thing is if you're stuck in this situation, and maybe it's because somebody here has your child and you feel like they've got like one over on you, something is going to happen. It's going to be like a break in the clouds. And where, because you're sitting here and you're like, I'm very conflicted about like, I've built up over here. Like, should I stay or should I go? But I really want my freedom, or I really want my independence, or I really want some kind of like healing. I don't know. There's going to be like a break in the clouds where there's this like full energy of like jump. Like it's a healthy kind of jump. And it might have something to do with a child. It might have something to do with a teacher, a mentor, maybe to help you out of a situation. And that's going to in some way empower you. It's going to get you in a good position to be able to like deal with this person's strategy and their manipulation. This is their I feel like they had some kind of upper hand because they're extremely manipulative, and they had some kind of plan the entire time. And that's the only kind of strength that they had. But that's also flipping, where now all of a sudden you have potentially an authority in your corner that's very skillful. And that person is going to help you. You're ready for this. Like it's going to help you switch around the order between the two of you. This is coming in. Yeah, you are. But this is like very sneaky in a good way. And you're going to have victory, and you're all in teamwork. There's victory in teamwork here. And that is what's breaking the mold. So this, for some of you, if you also resonate with like pile number 1, this could be the accidental chance meeting that I'm talking about. There's some sort of like divine accident where you just, okay, that's what I'm getting. And at first it seems like a bad thing. So this is another way that this could be interpreted. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this. Say you like run into somebody with your coffee, like on the sidewalk, and you get your coffee all over their white shirt, and they have a burn, and you feel so bad. And then you end up going with them to their office. Turns out they're a divorce attorney. Turns out like you are helping them dry out their papers or something because you just feel so bad. Y'all start talking about your decision. You start noticing certain things. That relationship is suddenly formed. It's a divine accident. You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to have that moment of like jump on it with the full energy of like ask the question that you're wanting to ask. So you're a divorce attorney. Turns out I'm in a shit situation. And, what would it take for a divorce? Like, what would it, like jump on it. Okay. Jump on it. Jump on it. There's a lot of songs. And it's giving you some kind of cover. So it gives you maybe a reason to be in a divorce attorney's office. Spirit did that. But then when you're telling your friends or whatever, and maybe your partner, it's like, yeah, I scalded them. And it like makes sense and they don't think anything of it. And then maybe you have this beautiful friendship that blooms from it. But as far as they know, but really that's your lawyer. Something like that. It's something like that. That's such a specific example, but you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about with this divine accident energy. And it might seem like a bad thing. You might even get yelled at where this person's like, watch where the fuck you're going. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it seems bad at first, but then like there's a path out of this. I'm telling you, there's a path out of this. Okay. Yes. And it allows you some kind of disguise. I'm telling you, it allows you some kind of disguise. It's because it's all the energy that this person typically uses of having some kind of long-term strategy, appearing like a page energy. Like, I'm just trying to la-di-la, and I'm just trying to do-de-do, or like whatever it is that they say. And then they really like enact their nasty ass fucking plan, maybe for money or whatever, like some kind of long-term. This feels like something long-term for themselves. They want to screw somebody else over, whatever. That's all gifted to you. Like, you have some kind of cover here. You have some kind of strategy here. And this person, I think it's going to make them mad because they can't point it out, like they can't say, and I feel like this person's used to being the one doing this, where you can't, they're a master at flicking people in the face in a way that like you can't call them out directly or something. All you can do is just kind of like duck and weave. But I feel like now this is flipping and you are actually the one with the reins is what I'm getting. And it could even, for some of you, this is a reunion with somebody. Maybe you run into your friend from high school. Maybe you don't spill coffee all over them. And it's just a happy little accident. And as it turns out, they're a divorce lawyer or somebody here. And you guys start rekindling your friendship, but there's a cover. And you all of a sudden you're hanging out with that person, and you're clearing the air and you start telling them about your burdens and how you feel responsible for this. And you don't know which way to go. And, that person is going to in some way help you out of there's some kind of illusion that you're staying in that's not actually true, of like thinking this person has more power than they do or something like that. Because I think you have there's divine guidance. You're going to receive some kind of divine guidance. But this feels like from maybe a professional or somebody who knows what they're talking about, or they know the way. Maybe they're not a professional, but they can lead you to a professional secretly on the Underground Railroad where nobody knows, because they went through a terrible divorce. There's a lot of divorce stuff here. I don't, maybe some of you it's like a divorce or something, or it's like something with child services or, and then this person is going to start feeling, it's just turning all of this back on them. This is glorious. I'm really happy for this pile. Yeah. So anything else that's coming through there might be a tower moment. I'm telling you. And it's like giving you there could be a tower moment here about like a betrayal. And I feel like you could catch this before it even happens. Or like you've got something here and you're going to be alerted to it and it's going to give you like evidence or something. I'm telling you. And at first it's going to maybe seem like a bad thing, but then it's going to have this person, they thought they were strategizing to being like independent because maybe they think that, and okay, so don't fret about these accidents because it might eventually come out that you're like talking with a divorce lawyer and this person's going to start getting suspicious and then they're going to think that they've got the fool energy on their side. They're going to take some kind of impulsive action. You're going to catch it. All of a sudden you've got evidence. Maybe your divorce lawyer was like, it'd be just nice if we could find the evidence. And then boom, you've got the evidence because this person's texts are all like, you've got them. You see what I'm saying? There's something here like that. I love this. It exposes them. It's like looking at it from a different angle or something. It exposes them. They get drawn out. I feel like this person, whoever it is, they get drawn out. It's an impulsive energy and it's an incomplete plan. They know kind of what general direction they want to go towards and they're sneaking around, but then they're going to run smack dab into an obstacle and possibly somebody very angry. So if this is a judge, this judge is pissed off that the audacity of this person. No, and they're not going to be given leniency because, which is, they might be trying to act like they're innocent or that they're sorry or that they were just like playing around. It's not going to be bought over here. It's not going to be bought. It's like the audacity of you. It's like very much like that. You're going to win. I feel like you're going to win something. You're having a victory and you're having a rebirth and you're going to come out of this like looking strong or looking like smelling of roses. And this other person's going to have to look in the mirror. Their secrets are going to be revealed. Their fears are going to come to life of being exposed. The illusions that they have created is going to shatter and it's all in an instant. I feel like it's just all in an instant with this full energy. And that's how it's going to feel for you as well. But this is just divine providence. Remember when I was talking about in pile number 2? So for some of you, there could be some overlap here where maybe you've been in an addictive energy in some way, shape, or form with this person. Like you're addicted to the drama or you're addicted to being needed or like the favorite or like whatever. But I was telling you about me jumping from like the rock to the rock to the rock. That's what I feel like with this fool energy. Like you're being led out of this, like jump to the rock to the rock to the rock. And it's like certain things are opening up in time and space, like just for you in just the right moment for you to jump on it. So jump on it. I don't know why I keep getting that. What is that from? That's a 90s commercial. Is it like for ravioli? Why do I feel like it's for ravioli? Okay. Anything else? And this person, it's just gonna, I feel like you're gonna start seeing this person in a different light because where they used to be like really big to you, now you're gonna see them as this small, spindly little snake that is just very rash. And like, when they think about something forever behind the scenes and they come up with their plan, that's what makes them all big and bad. But actually just moment to moment, this is not an impressive person. They can't win. They cannot win. And I feel like this is actually you. You're very poised. And this is like spirit. This person can be trying to watch your routine or something. They're going to get some kind of shocking message. And you're going to be very poised. And then they're going to realize, God was involved. Because there's something that they could not have accounted for. I just like this energy so much. So is there anything else besides this? You're going to find your own strength and then you're going to be peaceful. You're going to find your own peace in whatever the situation is. And this person is going to realize that you've taken the higher cup here and that you're healing. Yeah, and that you're happy. This person could have also tried to isolate you in some way, but they're going to see the people that they tried to isolate you from embracing you. Maybe clearing the air with you as you move away from them. Good things are going to start to happen for you when you move away from this person. Trust and believe. That's the truth. Yeah. I think for some of you, there's an irony here because it looks like you're headed towards some kind of lack, but actually you're headed towards some kind of sanctuary. Possibly you and a child as well. Yeah. And the devil, okay, the devil's in the details, but spirit is out the door. So like you're going over and over like the details here, but like I feel like go out like in your community, have an experience. You might have a divine accident. So just keep your eyes perched for that and you'll know. I just feel like you'll know because there's something here that's going to like alert you. You're just going to be like, and don't be weird about it or anything. Just like be in the flow, say what you want to say, be respectful and everything. Yeah. Okay. You are defeating someone's plan. Somebody here had a plan. There's a quote from a card deck. Intuition beats experience. Intuition beats experience when you align with spirit. When you align with spirit. That's what you're going to learn here. That you don't have to be so strategic because you're in alignment with spirit. And spirit's just going to do it for you. Okay. I feel like that's what I have for pile 3. That was a juicy one. Okay. I'm going to compassion that, I guess. This person will come to find that the compassion is like they need a swift kick in the ass, like repeatedly. And that's what compassion looks like and kindness for that person. Serenity just said, I got out before they could enact anything too impactful. That could be another way that this goes here, where you just sidestep somebody's plan before they can try to ensnare you. And I feel like they themselves get ensnared by their own greed, their own hubris, their own selfishness, their own lack of compassion, because this person doesn't care about you or anybody else. They don't care about your consent. They don't care about what you want. They don't care about what's genuinely yours. They just care about stealing things. This person is a thief. They steal energy. They steal destinies. They steal paths. They steal children. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Aligning with self-compassion for myself. That's it. That's it for this pile. They try to hurt this with a stinger and get poisoned by their own poison. That's basically what's going on. Okay, so we shall move into the general messages. I just heard bump ba 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 na na. I don't know what that's from either. Dun 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 na. This is the bunny butt. For those of you keeping track, this is the booty. Welcome to my channel where there's nothing but butts. I'm sorry. I'm in a mood. Okay, literally crying. Song Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash. Okay. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Yeah. I feel like that goes along with pile number 3. Okay, so now we shall move to the general messages. This is you guys are cracking me up. Okay, so general messages. Look, there's somebody possibly watching you that Spirit wants to alert you of. Just because of what we saw in pile number 3, and this might be a part of the divine message or something, I'm just going to see what it is. This person feels like, come at me, bro. Or maybe they think that you're in this energy. I don't know, because whoever this is, they're all confused. Like, they don't really have the truth. Oh, that's the advantage. I feel like Spirit's wanting, because this person is like, they are very strategic, but they just build everything through like the illusions of their mind, their own fears, their own illusions about themselves. Everything about themselves is an illusion. So that's what you're going to realize is like, if you just take the truth and cut through like their illusions, like, I don't know, you're kind of just like, oh, were you this small the whole time? Like, yes, they are. So anyways, maybe somebody is like in this like come at me bro energy, but they're kind of thinking that maybe you are in this come at me bro energy. Oh, I think actually they're feeling small. It could be that their family has some kind of something to say about this. So for some of you, like you might just alert their family as to who they are and what they've been doing, or somebody else might do this. It could be this divine accident, this Sagittarius person, because Sagittarius can be like a teacher or somebody could just accidentally Or maybe not so accidentally, because they could accidentally discover something that this person is doing and then inform their family. And somebody in their family is like, I thought I told you to stop being a dick. Like, and then this person's gonna like, oh, like, I feel like they're gonna hide or something. There is something here where you're gonna see how small this person really is. That they felt emboldened whenever they thought that like whatever they were doing was like a secret, like routinely in secret or something here like that. And that their illusion was that for some, this person was like lying and saying that they're going to work or something. There's a lie. There's some kind of secret that's going to come out and it's going to affect something here. But when they thought that there was some kind of, when they thought that whatever their lie was, and it might be that they're a protective mother or that they have some kind of routine, that they're routinely caring. When they thought that that was like in place, this person was really emboldened. But somebody here is like maybe going to tell somebody in their family, and somebody in their family is like over it with this person or already knows. They're like, I thought we talked about this, you know, and turns out you just got sneakier. And yeah, that your Mars energy, your strategy, your aggression, it just seemed like better than it was, or it seemed for some kind of like noble cause, and they're getting called out on it. And that's what's going to actually block something here, some kind of like relationship. They're going to be told to like cut it out or like leave you alone. Leave me alone. Just stop dogging me around. Okay. Yeah, it could even be somebody that they're dating that tells somebody that's very Sagittarius in their family, like why they stopped dating them or why they stopped talking to them. They're like, just so you know, I feel like you should know that so-and-so is this way and that way. And somebody's going to be like, oh my gosh, here you are living in my house, eating my food, behaving like this in the community, smearing our entire family's good name. Like, you know, something like that. Okay, anything else? Yeah, like just sit back and watch this. I feel like this is kind of gray rocking for some of you. Like just don't be emotional. Like just pull back. I don't know. Because it's like maybe somebody is watching this person watching you or something. And they're realizing that there needs to be some kind of authority or control. So for some of you, that's the way that this is going to go. Okay, I feel like there's more here, but I feel like I also don't want to. Somebody here could also be like very surprised or very petulant. And they're going to try to play like small or like, how dare you accuse me of this? But somebody has possibly been watching this person over a long period of time. And it may have to do with like maybe their business or their status or like them trying to, for some, like be a gold digger or something. They could have seen this actually for a long period of time. And before whoever this is like says something, like they don't realize that this person's already kind of been observing it for a while. And they might just equip them with the knowledge that they need to, I don't know. There's something here like that. All right, putting that down. Okay, any other messages? Okay, we got The Bones by Maren Morris. Yeah, life sure can try to put love through it, but we built this right, so nothing's ever going to move it. Baby, I know any storm we're facing will blow right over while we stay put. The house don't fall when the bones are good. So, some of you, there literally might be a storm coming in or something, but I feel like your house is going to be fine, and that's like a message. Cheryl, thank you so much for the super chat. But I think for some of you, like this is a relationship, and this might tie back into pile number 1, where it's like you've got the right people around you actually. Spirit was making sure of this. And then NF, remember this. We ain't friends anymore. You don't know me. You Should Be Sad by Halsey. Because you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. I feel so sorry. I feel so sad. I tried to help you. It just made you mad. So I feel like there's somebody here from your past. And I kind of get, for some of you, this ties back into pile number 1, where Spirit is moving you into a situation where the house don't fall when the bones are good, because the bones are actually good between you and this person. And there's like a karmic from your past, and it's like, we ain't friends anymore. You don't know me, because you can't love anything unless there's something in it for you. And I feel sorry for you, and I feel sad for you. And that person, I don't know if you were involved with that person, but I feel like it would have awoken something in you. This is The Devil in Me by Halsey. Yeah, I Won't Take Anyone Down If I Crawl 2 Nights, about like feeling small and like having to connect and like find your inner voice. Miss Independent, Miss Self-Sufficient, Miss Keep Your Distance. So I feel like you're telling somebody here to keep their distance because you moved away from them and you know exactly why you moved away from them, and it's because they have a very selfish love, and you're not friends anymore, and that's for a good reason. This one wants to come out. Oh my gosh, Sarah Evans, if there's no place that far. If I had to run, if I had to crawl, if I had to swim 100 rivers just to climb 1,000 walls, always know that I would find a way to get to where you are. There's no place that far. So that with the bones energy, like there is a real love. You had to get through this person, burn through this person like karmically to get to this like beautiful relationship of, and that's where you're going. That's where you're headed. Yeah, Venus. So for some of you, it's like you had to get through a karmic relationship. You had to see somebody's selfishness and we ain't friends anymore. You don't know me. You had to see that, get rid of that, cut the cords with that, burn through that karmically speaking. Like I said, really purify your energy of that person in order to be the best version of yourself that you can be. That's attracting like the right person at the right time. I just heard. Yeah. And there's something really beautiful that's going to come from this. And whoever this is might think like that you're getting with this person to like shove it in their face, but you're not. Venus not exalts, but the height of Venus as a nakshatra is in Sagittarius. And so there's some kind of really beautiful creative project. If this isn't a person, this is like a creative project that's coming through you. Yeah. But you have to block out this person from your past. And I feel like that's a repeat message, but I also feel like it's very specific where Spirit's like, you have to, for this to come through, you have to block out this person from your past. And they have to, something about their karma, they have to watch and observe you grow and like succeed without them. But also you're going to see who that person actually is, which is maybe somebody who wants status. Like they're a clout chaser or something, because maybe this person, like if you start doing something, then maybe all of a sudden they want to try to come back in your life. And you're like, we ain't friends anymore. You don't know me. Okay, so toy with that. So let's see a new energy, Spirit. Okay, divine timing, twin flames, the bottom of the deck. Oh, phony, trickster, illusions, and fairy tale. Married. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like this is like a false twin. Somebody that you thought was your twin married a fairy tale illusion, and you are working on self-love and possibly moving towards an actual divine union. And if you believe in twin flames, but you know, twin flame, the original soulmate, the ultimate soulmate is God. And we have the praying card here at the bottom. So I feel like a lot of you are going down like a genuine faith healing journey, because that's what I feel. I feel like the actual soulmate, like the highest soulmate for all of us, the transcendent love for all of us is God. You know, they say Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, and so it's like the higher octave of that love energy. And that's always going to be that transcendent love energy of God, where there is no lust in it. There's no selfishness in it. That's why I don't feel twin flame personally, I don't feel twin flames embodies that kind of love, because it's all about focused on union and stuff, where it's about this transcendent love of love liberates. I love you if you're across town, but it's like the love of God, learning to love the way that God loves. So there's something here about like divine timing. Oh my gosh, look, divine timing is at play. Don't force things. Trust that it will happen when the time is right. And then winter is at the bottom of the deck. So you might be feeling like you're going through a winter. And maybe that's even with a job, because we have side hustle here. But all of this is like some kind of divine timing. And then like the illuminating will actually happen. And for some of you, this is like, look, divine masculine, somebody here like could realize that it's too late, because they were in some kind of toxic lifestyle and they bound themselves to some kind of karmic tie. And that person's true colors is going to come out, and there's some kind of like secret, or you have some kind of secret spiritual gift, and I feel like it might be secret from you. And all of this is just playing out the way that it needs to. And I feel like that's just the message, to be reassured. But with this divine masculine card coming out, I feel like this is your masculine side. Like, some of you are worried that it's going to be too late to do something here that's in alignment with you, and it's not, but you have to trust the process. Some of you feel like you're stagnant or that you're waiting, but there's some kind of process that's coming out where you're getting away from some kind of like maybe love spell, or you're getting away from somebody's energy that you're tied to, or somebody that you were tied to in the past. You're getting away from that, and the timing. So when the timing is right, which has to do with like when the energies are right. And I feel like you don't necessarily know that that's a process that's going on behind the scenes, where your energies are being like shifted and moved around as you love yourself as you move away from somebody that's possibly in a toxic lifestyle and you're spending some time secluded. That person's getting caught in a karmic tie. I don't know. It feels like energetically certain things are happening and it's happening in divine timing. And don't feel like you have to rush and don't feel like you have to force things in order to like make something happen. You don't have to run. You don't have to run to get where you're going. Yeah. I feel like somebody here is just like getting caught in their own karmas. I don't know. I'm not really interested in getting into the love stuff too much in this one, to be honest. I feel like I kind of need to break from that. And there is that kind of trying to come through, but just know that the process is working out the way that it needs to. All right. The more I pray for lustful people to stay away, the more he loses his false sense of power. A new dawn is brimming and it's bright. Reminds me of the mist of a morning day. I just want to go home. The one he left his boots in. Oh. Yeah, I'm getting that this was an illusion. They were just trying to set up and create around for him. They did way too much. Yeah. And like, I feel like just you walking away from it, not trying to defend yourself, not trying to fight for anything. I think you just have this attitude of like, look, if it's not for me, then I don't want it. And I think you're just encouraged to keep having that attitude. Even if it is genuinely a soulmate, if they're genuinely a soulmate, they're in some karmic ass energy, they're in a toxic lifestyle, you may have some kind of energetic overlap with that soul and it's actually knocking your energy. And we've talked about that in several of the piles, not realizing that it's kind of making your energy like dusty or dirty or bringing it lower than it could actually be if you were to cut free from this person and or to move away from this person. So there is some kind of like alchemy going on and it's getting you into the place that you need to be to start creating something or to find the person that you're going to be with or both. And then it's you're giving this person the energetic baggage that's like not yours to deal with anyways. And I feel like you were stuck in some kind of illusion or you were stuck in some kind of confusion where you're like, well, what did I do? Or you were taking on too much of this blame. And it's like, sometimes people make terrible choices and sometimes people's priorities aren't right. Or sometimes people are genuinely confused, but that's not for you to take on. And I feel like that's been a theme here. I remember it coming out in pile number 1 where it's like, I think that it's not talked about enough how like when you're an empath, you think that your energy is other people, or you can easily get confused about where to take responsibility and where not to take responsibility. And I think a lot of you, I've felt that even in the messages is what I'm getting. Like if I'm like, or another reader is really saying like, look, this was wrong and somebody needs to take responsibility. You could have even found yourself being like, well, I think I need to take responsibility. And like, you don't. And that's part of you kind of learning that you're taking on too much. You're taking on too much like of what this other person is doing because you're soulmates or because you're twin flames. That's a codependent picture of relationships, and codependency always leads to dissatisfaction and feeling like powerless, and you're not powerless in this situation. You're not. And this is reminding me of like early on when I had first started my channel, I kind of like got into a tiff with someone in the comments about twin flames because I was like, you guys know, I kind of talk about this philosophically. I'm a person who thinks philosophically and I'm interested in spirituality. I'm interested in psychology. And what I know is that a lot of the things that people say about twin flames, and I know everybody's got like their own independent views on it, but like they overlap with like unhealthy codependent dynamics in psychology, things that the research has shown to yield very negative abusive sometimes outcomes in psychology. So it's not that like, but to me, it doesn't necessarily, twin flames could be a real thing, but even the twin flame community said that there's like 4 people who are in a twin flame union. You know, it's like a small amount of people. And like a lot of times, and then the rest of it can be people in like these false twin flames. So who am I? I don't know if they're real or not, but I think that it's important to acknowledge these kind of codependent setups of like the runner chaser thing. Like, first of all, I'm not chasing anybody. How humiliating. Like I have a healthy sense of pride. Okay. If you don't want me back, I want to be with someone who values me and respects me and my fucking time, first of all. And if you're out there chasing like somebody else, like how and then I'm going to chase after, it's just never going to happen. It's not going to happen, you know? And, but also like the runner thing, like, I don't know. It's just want things that want you. And if somebody's like not about it, then just let them not be about it. I feel like is I was trying to say that in the comments and somebody was like, you're never supposed to give up on them, shows how much you know. And I was like, I'm just telling you that like you shouldn't lose yourself in somebody else. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this, but glitchy again. Yeah. Health is wealth. Yeah. Moonchild said, I just wish he'd stop showing up in the readings, the drugs, the women, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And maybe as like your energies are becoming less and less intertwined, like that will kind of happen. Because I feel like spirit is saying like, look, this is definitely an alchemical process. Like it's definitely happening. Anyway, if you lose yourself, you lose everything. Yeah. Yeah. And people, I'm sure, like I don't deny that there's some kind of process going on when people say like that they have a twin flame or anything. To me, I always get curious about that. Like, what is this feeling? You know, what does this mean? It's supposed to heal the codependencies. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. So I think that's it for me. Thank you guys for spending your lovely Friday. We do sell candles if you're interested. And it's 9 Woods. We have the website circling around, and Alex can 9woods.etsy.com right up there. Yeah. And they are energetic candles, and only if you feel you are drawn to them. And I wanted to say this too today. Like, I just wanted to clarify like how I feel about energy work, because I feel like we live in a 3D reality and that we have to deal with things in the 3D. I feel like that's part of living a human experience. And I don't think that having a spiritual experience means bypassing the 3D at all and just ignoring it. Like, we're supposed to interact with the 3D to enact change. And that's how we learn a lot. To me, energy work and spirituality, it's transcending that. So it's coming up through that. So, but if you're called to use things like energy work or candles or something, and you're interested, then the link is below. Magic is not an evidence-based science or anything like that, but it's definitely something that's been a part of my journey, like moving energy and getting curious about that. And so we've crafted these candles, and we also have a custom option if you want something like custom that we can put together for you. But again, only if you feel that that's something that you are also interested in, et cetera, et cetera. So do we get anything special tomorrow morning? Yeah, patrons, there's a pre-recorded Patreon reading, and it's the romance one. How do they remember you? And it was good. It was juicy. It was interesting. I saved mine to start burning today during this. Yay! Happy full moon in Libra. Great for rituals. Wink, wink. All right. What's the EO? Can you please list the EO? I'm sorry, am I stupid? That you use for the bespoke ones, please.
Oh, they're saying essential oils. Yeah, I'm working on updating the description, because they're wanting more description for the actual fragrances, like what they actually are.
Oh.
Custom options.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm working.
You finished your Auric Soothe today. I finished my Auric Soothe this last week, and it felt like an accomplishment. Yeah, and I just wanted to clarify too that I'm not scared of the Auric Soothe, like running scare. I'm just intimidated by it because it moved energy in a way that I was not expecting.
Well, we also just sold out of it, so I'm making
Okay.
more.
Well, we just sold out of it anyways, but
y'all are going through these candles so fast.
Mama Heat said, is that an Easter Bunny plush behind you? It is. No, I can't wait for you to rewatch certain parts of this reading. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being on Patreon and supporting us over there. For those of you that are buying the candles and all of that and the personal readings and things like that. So, all right. I never scared. I like to say that I'm never scared and then really be scared on the inside. And I just hope that is enough to get me through. All right. I'm going to go eat some food. Thanks for being with me. Bye. Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. She got her in there right at the end.